Hello and welcome back to the Zephyr Wellness YouTube channel, or at this point I should probably be calling it the Zephyr Wellness Gazebo channel because I keep filming these in the gazebo, which is fine because it's nice out and I like the gazebo. That point aside, I wanted to talk to you about assessment versus judgment today. Assessment is when we use neutral terminology to describe something. Judgment is when we use value-driven terminology to describe something. So I happen to be wearing a San Francisco Giants World Series Champions t-shirt from 2010. Now the Giants also won in 2012 and 2014, which means they're awesome, but that would be a judgment. The difference here is that when I describe the shirt as being orange, black, gray, and white with lettering that says Giants World Series Champions from 2010, that's an assessment. There's neutral terminology. There's nothing to be debated about that. But if I say it's an awesome t-shirt, or it fits really well, or it doesn't fit really well, or it's got a hole in the bottom, which it does, but you can't see that because I dropped it out of camera view, that would be a judgment. And the reason we want to pay attention to this is because judging something and trying to communicate through judgment tends to trigger people's fight or flight responses. Now, when people get into fight or flight, they get very defensive, and then communication tends to break down because it's hard to discuss something when somebody is in a limbic frame of mind, meaning an emotional state of mind. If we stay in reason through assessment words and assessment terminology, then we can have a conversation. We can flex ideas and we can explore and we can debate. But if we start getting into judgmentalism, Giants are great, Dodgers are terrible, then we get into fighting. And that may be a fact in some people's view that the Giants are great and the Dodgers are terrible, but the fact that I said in some people's view means that it's up for debate. Meaning that if I'm trying to have a conversation through those judgmental terms, I risk eliciting somebody else's fight or flight response, possibly the Dodger fan. So I want to stay neutral. I just simply want to state the Giants have won 3 World Series in 5 years. They didn't win one last year to keep the streak going on the even years. But we can have a conversation about the merits of victories versus losses or whatever, without getting into judgmentalism, saying you're a bad person for wearing the shirt or liking the Giants or the Dodgers or whatever. It just transcends sports, obviously, and goes into politics and personal relationships and even doing the dishes. If I walk up and I remark that my wife left some grease on the pan, that's an assessment. If I trigger her fight or flight by doing that, I can learn some stuff. I can learn that she doesn't like having it pointed out that she left grease on the pan. I can learn that maybe I just don't bring it up and I can just scrub it quietly away and not ever tell her. But what I definitely don't want to do is tell her that she's a horrible person for leaving grease on the pan. I don't want to judge her for that, because that's definitely going to start a fight. So as you move forward, I invite you to examine your language and decide whether or not you're using assessment language or judgment language when you're talking to people and about things. Because judgmentalism will definitely trigger a fight or flight reflex, and you'll be on to an argument rather than a discussion. So I invite you to check your language and start choosing more assessment-based terminology. If you find this helpful and you like to learn more, keep watching the YouTube channel, or go over to zephyrwellness.org, where I try to post a video or an article at least once every couple of weeks, if not weekly, and we'll just keep the conversation rolling. I wish you a great day and good mental health.